All right, welcome back to Beers and Breakevens, heading into round 18, the last major bye round of the season. Thank Christ that's over. Timbo, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, good to see the back of the bye period. Hasn't been a lot of movement in terms of where it started to where it's hopefully finishing. Hopefully a few more green arrows this week and I'll be nearly bang on where I started it from. But it's always just good to get through it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm really excited for this weekend to be over. I think we spoke about it last week, but bye rounds for me and this week in particular, my motto is just don't shit the bed.
Yeah.
It used to be make big gains, jump up that ladder.
Yeah.
Now it's just don't shit the bed, I think.
Don't shit the bed. Don't burn too many trades. It used to be go all out on trades, save them leading into it so that you could go hard and maximise those numbers, maximise the scores. Now it's like, you don't need stupid amount of numbers each week. Bank a few for post-origin.
Speaking of that, not shitting the bed, but saving trades, Kathmandu, how are you?
Oh,
that
man.
eye rolled, there was something in that.
I'm so off SuperCoach this week.
I got
if
the
anyone
impression.
out there scored poorly, I'm with you. I feel you. I see you. I empathise with you. I am you. It was a really tough
It's a
weekend.
bit poetic.
Scored poorly. Niche.
Very nice.
You know, I played against Paulie.
I know, you've told me. I think he's still got an imprint of your face on his foot.
No, he's got mine on him. He's on mine. Sorry, Kat. I interrupted
No, it's
you
all
rudely.
right. It's all right.
I just wasn't going to get too many chances to jump at a Paulie reference again.
That's very fair. No, it was just a tough weekend. Didn't score well. I'm pretty sure I boosted. If you can't tell, I've avoided opening the app. So I scored 1,100 and something. I dropped about 3,000 spots. My rank matters or something. Anyway, tough weekend. I see you. I feel you. I am with you.
I will give away a prize to anyone on the panel who can tell me who Paulie is playing for this year.
What country is he in?
I'm going to say.
Great question.
I'm going to say.
England.
Yeah,
It is
I was
England.
thinking he's got England written all over him, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I'll go. I think he's a benchy for the Catalan Dragons.
No. He's a Doncaster man, which I think is the
You
championship.
didn't even let me answer. Doncaster was going to be my first
Of course
answer.
it was, yes.
Yeah, actually, championship also doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Is he he's obviously your age,
Yeah.
Paulie. Yeah, one of the greats.
Had a year, played against in the same game. Pat's Blacktown, Paulie, Bryce Cartwright, Dallin Tennis Lesniak.
Cardi party.
Yeah, he's an exclusive, not exclusive. We didn't win.
DWZ was a menace back then.
I found we used to do study sessions on opposition and that and do it on key players and watch video at lunchtimes and that. And I found my notebook from year 12 and we had notes against Cardi and Dallin. I shit you not, 10 years after when I found this book, I'm like, the notes on these two players are the exact same. Dallin was, will go to dummy half, TRA runner, will not pass the ball. He was playing fullback, will not pass it. Bryce Cartwright was not super strong in contact, arm will be free, wrap the arm, offloads every time. Neither of those players have changed to this day.
Yeah, a lot of people out there probably won't know Dallin as a fullback, but in the juniors, he was the guy at fullback.
Yeah.
Run through a brick wall kind of stuff, Dallin. He was a freak. Lontel on board again. Again, they've been on board all season. They're back, Lontel, for another week. Fantastic to see. The link is down there in the description. Lightning fast internet. It's made a huge difference to here in the studio. We've just got to put into bloke studios. Now we don't see Maddie the water boy anymore, which is a little bit upsetting.
I might go pull out a plug just so that Maddie comes and visits.
Oh, mate, I'm not even sure if they've got plugs. I think it's in the cloud. I think it's all happening, Kat.
We've got the new Lontel.
Could have given me anything. Would have been great. Anyway.
We've got the new Lontel equipment as well coming recently. I've just picked up my new router. Good on the eye.
Yeah.
It looks sick.
That bad boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How cool is it?
Yeah, very futuristic looking.
Very
Yeah.
futuristic. Yeah.
If you're a modern kind of guy, that's your
modern
kind of
modem
router.
kinda guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put your modem in your nice swish house, whatever it might be, and it'll just blend in beautifully because it looks good.
What
Yes.
comes first, the router or the house?
Great question.
Yeah.
Don't know. Lontel. If you're not going to buy it after that, I can't help you. Hit the link down below. Check it out for a week. You get free internet there. The beauty of it is you can switch it off when you're not using it. So you go away for the weekend, you go down to Cooma for the weekend, you get shit-faced with your mates, switch it off, switch it on when you come back. It's the only example that came to mind for me.
I look forward to October when I can switch it off and bugger off from the internet.
Me and Carter going to the NRLW Magic Round in a few weeks. I'll be switching it off here in the studio, switch it back up on Monday.
I wish I could get a little portable one attached to my phone. I've been having a lot of data issues.
Have you?
Yeah.
Why's
it's very
that?
annoying. I don't know. It's just very annoying. If anyone has any advice on how to improve your data situation.
I don't, in no shock to
I
anyone.
have the 1 bar of 5G all the time. It's really
weird.
annoying.
Once again, can't help you.
Drama.
Yeah.
Don't know
Anyway,
what to tell you. No
irrelevant.
dramas. Now, also, major announcement, enormous announcement, potentially the biggest announcement in Beers and Breakevens history. The 30th of July, put that one in your dairies. We have got our jersey drop for season 2025. You can be a part of the Grizzlies or the Stallions top 30. So the way this is going to work, they're going to go live on the website on the 30th of July. Stay tuned for times. There will be a Grizzly option, a Stallion option. There will be, if you go in, for example, if for whatever reason you were to go into the Stallions one, idiots, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4 down to jersey 30. It will be first in, best dressed, faster finger wins. It'll be lightning quick. First in, best dressed. Hopefully you're able to get one of each, but if not, pick the one that you like more out of the two of us. Obviously, if you want to get Grizzly number 1 or Stallion number 1, hot tip, that'll probably move pretty quickly. If you're a hooker of note, 9 will probably move pretty quickly. So just be aware of that, that they might be in your cart, then they might disappear. So be ready for that. And it'll be, we'll put it at a certain time on Wednesday, the 30th of July. Exciting.
Yeah. If you're keen on them, would encourage to get onto Lontel before you do because they're going to go quick. You like that?
I do like that. That's very good.
Yeah, and
I believe they call that synergy.
Yeah, there'll be a bit of strategy as well involved, as you said. Like, do you go health 11 try at number 1? Do you try get in like even in the back line or in the starting 13? Or do you say, nah, you know what? I'm not going to get greedy. I'm going to settle for 24 or 28 or whatever it might be and just get in the squad.
Yeah, I think those bench positions might be one to target, I think.
Yeah. 23 will go quick too, just because
23 will fly.
Number.
Yeah, 24's always been somewhat of a lucky number for
What's
me.
the first number you'd go to if you're like, okay, probably the least relevant number, but probably my best chance?
As far as the starting 13, I reckon
Yeah, okay. In the
I
13.
reckon probably a wing spot, a 2 or a 5. I reckon.
You reckon? I don't agree with that.
What do you reckon? Like a front row spot?
I think edge back row. No knock to edge back rowers. I just think at 11 or 12, it's a bit.
Yeah, I agree. I would have said an 11 or a 12.
What would you go first?
Number 1.
Really?
Number 1?
Yeah.
Fullback.
You wouldn't go like 7 or 6?
I'd probably go 1, 7. I hate the number 6.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'd probably have my positions. I played fullback, halfback, centre, so I'd be a 3.
Yeah, right. Have we got a jersey 19?
Wow.
Zing! Fucking zing!
Wow.
I wouldn't mind a
bad.
jersey 13 too.
13 be
Little
sick.
Swiss Army knife, jack of all trades.
Little
What'd you
Connor
go,
Watson.
Mando?
A number 9. It's my lucky number. Don't
I
make
feel like
any
we've
jokes.
done
Yeah,
this
we've done
before.
it. We do this every time.
We're better than that. We're
Yeah.
better than that.
I'm a 9.
30th of July, Stallion and Grizzlies jerseys. They will be 1 to 30 available. It will be best in, best dressed. Save your bickies and be ready for the big day. We're going to do this every year, so this is the inaugural year. So make sure you get your paws on them. All right. Shall we team list? Shorter week this week. Friday night, we got the Canterbury Bulldogs and the Brisbane Broncos. That one's at 8 p.m. out there at a core stadium for the Doggies. Wilson on the sting. Tuala makes his Canterbury debut in the centres. Hayes in the front row. Bailey Hayward in jersey 13. Galvin on the bench in 14 once again. For the Broncos, Selwyn Cobbo at fullback. Wild times. Mariner at centre. Willison in the front row and Hetherington in jersey 13. Anything you want to touch on with that game, Timbo?
Nah, not really, mate. The only one is just obviously with Reece Walsh, 18th man for Origin. You know, valuable to the try scoring prospects of Josiah Karapani. So
Yes.
not ideal. That being said, Ezra's been carving up on the left, so not the worst, but not as good a matchup for Karapani.
Have we got any Karapani chat coming up later in the show?
No.
If for whatever reason you didn't get on him last week, I think you have to get on him this week.
Yeah, like it's either this week or never.
Yeah, exactly right. Yes.
What does... Let's say on the proviso the Broncos continue to play a decent level of football and don't bed shit for the rest of the year. What's Josiah Karapani average for the rest of the year?
I think he will. What's he at now?
Like
75 or something?
Yeah,
He'll have to be pretty high.
He's averaging 85 in his first 3 games
I
with
reckon
5
he'll
tries.
be... Yeah, I don't think the tries will slow up all that much at any point. I reckon he'll be a 63 to 65 guy.
Yeah, I was thinking 65 to 70. And the beauty of Karapani, he's that perfect 6/7 CT dub, play on matchups. You might play him 3 or 4 times on the run home if your CT dub's stacked, which most will be. Don't play it like they play Melbourne twice. The rest of their draws.
Mate, even when they play Melbourne, he's on the left wing. That
gets the right
side's
edge.
fucked.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Doesn't worry me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might be going unders there realistically, and I think the beauty of it as well, mate. He re-signed the other day, so
Yeah.
he left South Sydney like he was very. He's always been talented. He left South Sydney very mysteriously, which usually when that happens, kind of points to attitude.
Yeah.
But he's right up there. Brisbane Madge seemingly loves him, so I think all the signs are really, really good for Karapani heading into the future. All right, Super Saturday, kicking off at 5:30 was that Super. The Raiders and the St George Illawarra Dragons down there at GIO. For the Raiders, Smithies at 13. Simi Sasangi, another opportunity on the edge. The bench, Trey Mooney, Noah Martin, Mariota, and Owen Paddy. For the Dragons, Finau and Sloan get opportunities on the wings. Allen comes in to replace Val Holmes in Origin, and RFM comes in to replace Couchman. Anything you want to touch on in that one, mate?
The main one is just the cockiness of the Nathan Lawson message you sent me about 20 minutes into last week.
Yeah.
About how excited you were for the cash incoming for Nathan Lawson.
Well, mate, he was on 55 after 20 minutes. Little did I know he'd score 50-4. That was pretty tough going. So now he's out for a few weeks. So I think we've got Physio touching on him later.
Yeah, if there's any Dragon supporters there who have heavily invested in Hamish Stewart, Nathan Lawson, Toby Couchman, might have got a bit weird with Luciano Leilua. A lot of SuperCoach relevant players there. Surprisingly highly owned a few of those. So
tough going. Yeah, I feel like a lot of teams I look at have got Hamish Stewart in there, which surprises
weird
me.
amount of all those players.
Yeah.
Stewart, Lawson, Couchman.
Yeah, I'm one of the morons with Lawson. So good going. Yeah, you too?
Yeah, that was your influence,
sister.
actually.
That was my fault.
Yeah.
Good. I went to give you a compliment there. Put that in reverse pretty quickly. Okay, Cowboys, Melbourne Storm, 7:35 from up there in North Queensland. Duffy at 7, Edwards at 9, Sam McIntyre at 13. We've got Temple Kalipu making his debut off the bench. He is a hooker. I don't know too much about him, but I'm going to go out on a limb. Is it out on a limb or out on a whim?
I think you're out on a whim. You don't want to be out on a
It's not out
limb.
on a limb, is it? It sounded weird when I said it.
I don't think
I've said out in a limb for my whole life, but sayings aren't
I don't know.
strong point.
I think it's whim. Now I think about it.
Now you say it out loud, I'm kind of like, I think I've been saying it wrong my whole life too.
Well, good to know that if you Google it, the like a lot of people have wanted to
It's
ask.
a common.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What's the answer?
Oh, hold on a second.
It's limb.
It's go out on a limb, means to take a risk or do something that could be dangerous or unpopular, while on a whim means to do something impulsively without much planning or thought. So both exist.
They both exist.
That actually makes more sense. They both exist.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going out on something.
That was probably stupid. The fact that we didn't realise that they both exist.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You could
That's very
argue
fair.
that you're doing the whim and the limb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, what I was going to say is that I don't think we've seen another Temple before in rugby league.
You could argue that we're both idiots as well.
Prior to this and after this, yes. But yeah, shout out to him. The Temple is a body, Timmy, as they've always been saying.
God.
The temple is a body.
Look, you were here earlier for the joke. You worked earlier.
He's made it a couple of times.
Okay, for the Melbourne Storm, Wild, Chan at centre, Bradley on the wing, Wishy at 6, Kamatha in the front row, Bronson, I wouldn't say Bronson Harrison there, Bronson Garlic at 9, Nass in jersey 13, Pizzette makes his return, which is good to see in 14, and worth noting, Pahulu makes his first appearance on the extended bench. It took us a long time to get here, but anything you want to touch on in that game, mate?
The only one, mate, is just Sugarcane Bradley.
Yep.
232K
I wanted to buy him a few weeks ago.
as enough.
Well, as enough that I thought was a sniff to play in these rounds, and you did laugh at me, so I'm very interested to hear what you've got to say for yourself here, my friend.
You knew 3 outside backs when you get injured between you.
Very interested to hear what you got to say for yourself here.
So, did you mention when you said that you'd seen up close Jack House appendix about to burst and have them removed? And
Very keen to see what you're going to say. I hear a lot of scrambling, not much actual talking at the moment. So as I've said 3 times, very keen to see how you cover your tracks on this one.
Okay, you're an idiot. That's how I'm going to start. Yeah, like they've got. I mean, Coates obviously out to Origin, but Grant Anderson has moved to the wing for this week. Joe Chaney's obviously not going to stay there, but Fa'alongo did his hammy late in that game, so he's gone for 10 or so weeks. Howarth, appendix out, so he's gone for 3 or 4 weeks. So
That's wild. The dudes are having their appendix taken out and returned to the NRL in 3 weeks. That's insane.
you got your appendix?
I think so. You got yours?
Gone.
No?
No, gone.
When'd you lose yours?
Got him out in year 11 and missed 2 weeks of HSC trial exams. It was fantastic. A week that was spent in Cooma.
That was well timed.
Got a little
Yeah, you nailed that.
got a little doctor's certificate done up for week 2 to get myself out of it.
My best mate had his appendix taken out a few years ago. They brought him in hospital, they're going to explode any minute. So they did emergency surgery, take him out. And he came to after and they walked in there oh, turns out your appendix are actually sweet. We think you need to change your diet. He's like, nah, okay.
Did they remove it anyway?
Yep.
Yeah.
They got in there and were like, oh no, these are actually sweet. And then they're like, oh fuck it, we're here. So see you later.
Where were we?
Where were we? Pahulu.
No, Kane Bradley. 232K, dual position, probably gets that spot for 3 to 4 weeks when one of the many wingers comes out. Will Warbrick, ongoing sort of concussion thing, all a bit weird.
Yeah, it sounds like he's a few weeks away still.
Yeah, so look, worst case, when he drops out, just has that dual position, switcheroo him with Dill Lucas. I don't mind it. Like, Lob's on the wing for a game against the Cowboys. Probably scores all right.
Yeah, I don't mind it as well. I don't really have I can't have another dual position guy stuck at 2RF.
I think he's the best of the cheapies on offer this week. Like, people are looking at, obviously there's Jed Stewart, there's young Roosters Rodwell named as well. Like, basically Nuff's 1-2 week scoring plays. I think he's the pick of them.
Yep, fair shout. Sunday, Sydney Roosters v Tigers. Me and Timmy. I'll be out at this one at the SC Playbook event. How fucking good. Looking forward to it.
SC Playbook Day at the Footy.
Day at the Footy.
Allianz Stadium. We've got a whole area set up, mate. It's not even just a bay.
Yeah.
It's a whole bar.
Oh,
We've got a whole
awesome.
bar so you can mingle, move around. Should be an absolute corker. So, yeah, the SC Playbook community and Beers and Breakevens community, mate. Welcome to come on to as well. If you exclusively listen to Beers and Breakevens and not Playbook, you can still come out. We still like it.
you can. And if you're the producer of Beers and Breakevens, you can come out as well.
Yeah.
Timmy, we talked about it in person. I said I would see, but I've ended up going to the Manly Souths game.
What a dog. What a
I
dog.
don't have words.
I know. It's unbelievable. She's going with the great Ella Kazma, which I appreciate.
So when us girls were at Magic Round,
You say when us.
us girls, it was
When us
Ella
dog.
and Courtney. Anyway, a group of us, we had penciled in going to this game together, and then it actually happened. It made it out of the group chat type vibes. Didn't think we'd actually commit to it, so that's why I
When
can't
you're
be there, Timmy.
when you're doing the socials, the reels for the show this week, can you just rewind back to when you said that out loud, screenshot me, get Ralph William up,
Yeah,
and just
breaking
have the
heart.
moment it breaks my heart because
Oh my God, don't
Yeah,
do
well,
this. Like, I'll actually cry. Like, don't.
Matty the Waterboy coming?
Yep.
Ah, interesting.
And Courtney's
nice
not.
of him.
Hammy's coming.
Hamiso, Tabuai Fido.
Yeah, Hamiso Tabua Fido will be long. The Spy.
Sorry, Timmy.
That's 2 Tigers games in a row I've gone to with Hammy. Geez, he was in fine form the other night on the hill. They were getting hammered and all the Tigers fans were leaving early and he was patting him on the back going, well done, young scholar. You can have an early mark from school today. And they all knew what he was talking about. It was so good.
Oh, goodness.
Hectic. We'll be out there. So look forward to seeing you. Also, if you get the opportunity to go out to this game a little bit early, the Roosters are playing the Warriors in the NRLW. It's the Warriors' first game back in the NRLW. So it'll be exciting to see them for the first
The
time.
community will be there, mate. We're doing the double.
We'll be up and about. For the Roosters, Noel Wanganitawase in the centres. Tom Rodwell makes his debut. Congratulations to him. Benaya at 9 again. Egan and Fiketti on the edge. Steep at 13, which I can't wait to see. And another little debutant here, Max McCarthy, who he's been injured for the last 4 or 5 weeks, I believe. Really handy back rower, one that the Roosters are very, very excited about. I think if it wasn't for injury, he would have debuted a lot earlier. So shout out to Max McCarthy of used to hold the sign in the crowd with Hainsey fame.
No way.
Yep, which is one of the great things of all
Hainsey
time.
posted it today.
Yeah, he's in the
So,
crowd in his Roosters
he's a
shirt, jeans.
Tricolour aficionado.
Yeah, a tricolour.
That's
I
awesome.
like that. For the Tigers, Taruva at 1, Lau Lily in the centres, Staines on one wing, Adam Dewey at 5'8", Tristan Hope in jersey 9, 12 and 13, and Skipper and Charlie Murray on the bench. Anything you want to touch on with that Tigers side, mate?
No, not really, mate.
Nothing doing.
Royce Hunt robbed of a starting spot and 8 points for my side this week. I will say that.
Royce the choice. Good to hear his name again. The Seagulls v the Bunnies, 4:05 p.m. Cat will be at this game. I repeat, Cat will be at this game and not with us. For Manly, Jazz is at 9. Tommy Talau off the bench. Remember we had the chat at the start of the year and we did the Manly team reveal about how we thought Tommy Talau could make a good bench forward. Yeah, I'm happy to see it. Ella's not happy about it. No.
She wants him starting.
Yeah, he wants him in the side over Saab. Is that what she said?
I think she was a bit shocked to see Saab take precedence this week, considering, I mean, Talau only didn't play last week because of an injury. That's why Saab came into the side. But obviously he played for that spot again and Siebes has put him there.
Seriously, you have Tom Trebojevic there, Ches running that edge. You give Saab an inch, gone. Like you just, I mean, Ella.
I tend to think the same thing.
I don't
I think
know.
as well, Tommy Talau was, anyway. I think Tommy Talau is a little bit of a victim of his own abilities as well, that he can play on the bench. I think he'll be really good in that role. If I was Tommy Talau, I wouldn't be stoked, but he'll be really good in that role, I think.
I think it gives him, if he goes out with the intention of having a real impact off the bench, then I think he can make a real change
100%.
in that game for sure.
I think his destiny may lie in the back row eventually anyway, Tommy Talau, his old man.
Kat will get a first-hand side him, so she can let us know next week.
Yeah, she can let us know.
I'll give you
if
live.
she ever talks to us again. I don't know. Maybe she won't.
If I ever talk to her again.
Oh, shit.
That hurts.
See what you've done.
All right, where are we at?
Aiken in the centres, AJ at fullback, Tass on the wing, Jackie Boy Whiten at 5'8", Pawn Hubner in jersey 13, and Dodd coming off the bench. Worth noting, Cody Walker on the extended along with Hectic Cheese, which is good to see. Anything outside of Tommy Talau you want to touch on in that game?
Probably just for you, mate. Yui at centre. Probably not thrilled.
I don't love it. I'd be lying if I said to you I love it, Timmy. But this Manly side, this could be the game that South Sydney come alive here, I'm hoping. So
You
Anything
said that
could happen
about
in
the
this result.
Dolphins last week, though. So
okay.
Yeah,
nice
so
of you to chime in. Nice to see you show up to this event with us. Really nice of you to chime in. Yes, I did say that.
stop getting my hopes up. Is what I'm
Cost me
trying
a
to
lot
say.
of money, a lot of pride, and a lot of everything else. So maybe this is the week. Fuck knows. If they can score, have an attacking start, I'll be okay. Buys this week: Sharks, Finn, Titans, Knights, Warriors, Eels, and the Penny Panthers. All right, we have got NRL Physio joining us for another week. I just sent him a message today asking for the players we wanted him to go through, and I mentioned Kano Kenny 3 times in the message, so I'm hoping he falls in line.
All right, fellas. SuperCoach relevant injuries for this week. The big one straight off the bat is Kalen Ponga. So he's got that Liz Frank injury. It looked like from an Instagram story that he posted today that he's avoided surgery. So you're usually looking at somewhere in that 4 to 6 week range. Look, it's actually, funnily enough, for performance-wise, if he gets surgery and misses 12 weeks, we've seen that actually go quite well for guys, even though they miss the extra time. the stabilisation from the surgery really helps with that performance when they come back. So I think last year I had it up before, so pre-injury he averaged 84. He had the same injury last year and surgery. Pre-injury he averaged 84, and then he came back for about 9 games and averaged 86, even after having the surgery. So the thing with him avoiding surgery is he doesn't get that kind of implant in there to help stabilise the joint. So he's someone that, look, he hadn't been setting the world on fire before the injury anyway, so he's probably not someone who I'd be looking to jump on straight away. Someone you want to eyeball for a week or two before you go down that path. But Fletcher Hunt, not a bad pickup. He should get at least a month in that fullback spot if he stays healthy, so something to look out for there. Cody Nikorima, 6 weeks. Unfortunately, there are a few nasty. Suafa'alongo, another nasty hamstring injury. So whether they move Avarillo to 6, Sean O'Sullivan, there's a few different options. Kurt Donahue. So whoever grabs that 6th spot, or however they shuffle the pieces around at the Finns, it's probably going to be for the next 6 weeks. So bake that into your expectations. Nathan Lawson, fractured scapula. I think they've said 5 weeks, which is pretty much best case. We've seen some scapular fractures take 8 to 10 weeks to settle down. But if you're holding him, you pretty much just hope he's enough at this point in time. Toby Couchman with that shoulder, he's dislocated it again. That's the 3rd instability event that he's had this season. For listeners of Biz and Breakevens, you will remember we spoke about this in regards to a Dylan Lucas as well. Obviously not as significant for someone like Lucas. Shout out to you, Tim. I'm sure you enjoy a Dylan Lucas mention with his shoulder. But for Couchman, he's obviously well down the path. He's seeing a specialist later this week. He could require immediate reconstruction surgery. Even if he doesn't, it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks. And when he comes back, it's going to be a high re-injury risk, a bit like Olokoatu, who we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. So not someone, trades are starting to get low for most of us this point of the year. Not someone I'd be looking to, take a risk on, knowing that you probably have to trade them out again when they get injured. And then the drum roll, the big main event here, I think Guru's been chewing my ear off about this guy all year, but Keanu Keeney, they said on the coverage over the weekend that he is due to come back in round 21. To be honest, from my personal perspective, outside looking in, I've got no idea why they would bring him back this year. It's a significant neck injury, a significant neck surgery. They're not sorry to any Titans fans, they're not making finals. The upside just isn't there for me, but it sounds like Keeney is really, really determined. He really wants to come back and help him try and win a few games to finish off the year. So, look, we have seen with guys who have this surgery that there's a bit of a softening up period early on, as much mental as physical, if anything, because they've got, a major neck injury. How I guess, keen are they to go heavy into contact is probably the biggest thing. I think guys have spoken about in the past how it kind of played with their minds a little bit. So for Guru, look, I'll just say that, he's going to come back and win you your draft comp. I'm sure that's what you want to hear. But for anyone who's looking from a classic perspective, I think there's been a bit of talk about him being a point of difference over the last few weeks. He's another one who just, fullback hasn't been that great, but also a guy coming off a major neck surgery, playing for the team coming last. I don't know if that's the way that I would go personally. But Guru, I'm sure you'll win your draft comp with him, captaining him every week. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Magic Sponge podcast. To hear more information like this, Sunday night, Monday morning, it's out now. Otherwise, we'll chat next week.
Okay, first of all, the team that Kenny plays for is coming 9th, not last, Paddy and Kelmer. And there is not a hope in hell a guy from my draft team is going to be scared of contact. Know that. We are fucking warriors made for war over at Paddy and Kelmer. Now, on another note, and more important note, turns out Physio's a bit of a piglet.
Yeah, I have a bone to pick with Fizz. Fizz, if you're listening, if you're watching, just another week of me waiting to be acknowledged. It's always, hey, fellas.
Unbelievable. I think it's because he's a Queenslander.
The jersey says it all. It's like,
Yeah.
would he have done that in a Blues jersey? No.
No way. It wouldn't happen.
He probably would have said cat and team.
Whoa.
What a dog. I hope he addresses that next
Yeah,
week.
Fizz, waiting for your response.
Yeah, hopefully don't get cancelled.
Threw some shade, didn't he? Brushed cat.
He didn't miss.
Brushed cat, dropped in that Lucas call, didn't have to. Had to go at you and Kinney. Fired up, isn't he? He must be nervous.
Yeah, he must be nervous. Origin incoming, he would be. All right.
Before we do move on, mate, we've done this a bit lately. How'd you go on the weekend?
Oh,
Shit.
We've got it.
Sorry,
I
I sincerely actually apologise
Yeah.
for that. I did okay, mate. I scored 1,366. I went up 1,061 spots. I've finally broken out of the 6,000s. I'm ranked 5,920. How'd you go? I think you beat me by 30 odd or something.
On the dot, mate.
Yeah.
1,396. Went up 650 spots to I'm 2,050th. So, yeah, I've gone 600 up and down about 6 weeks in a row either way, I think. So
You made a couple of plays on the weekend, by the way, that obviously Jerome Hughes was a decent separator, but just a couple of sit v starts you got right. Like I didn't play Hosking.
I did play Hosking.
Yeah, you nailed that. I saw that. That
Yeah.
didn't make me overly happy, if I'm completely honest with you. Yeah, some good plays there. Why did you play Hosking? What was your...
He's been basing well enough, and I just rate him as a footballer. And in recent weeks where he hasn't scored overly well, he just has jagged no attacking stats, but he's been bloody close to it, and thought they were coming. And fortunately, they did. So, yeah.
I also made a big mistake in not playing Karapani.
I
which was
did play
disappointing.
Karapani,
You
yes.
did, yeah. To be fair, none of my CTWs went terribly. My lowest was Kiraz. I'm glad that I broke him, bringing him in this week, and then he plays Origin.
You
That's
know
good
who
to see.
else you absolutely obliterated? And I only realised it today. Ryan Pappenhausen.
Yeah,
What have you
It was
done to
always
him?
going to happen. It was always going to play out that way. Mate, people should have seen that coming from a mile away.
So
I
he's
avoid the motherfucker all year.
He's 668k. You nearly got him at like top dollar, didn't you?
Yep.
You would have paid 847 for him?
When was his last big score? I think I got him the week after.
He got
I can't-
182 in round 10
Mate.
at 825k.
Yeah, I reckon I got him within a week or two of that.
Yeah, and he hasn't gone over 75 in 5 weeks since.
That's mad. Yep, I will take part responsibility for that situation. And as you all know, I don't take responsibility for much around here. Now, Blue Wealth Property, they have got an event on the 8th of July at 7 p.m, unlocking equity to invest in property via webinar. The link is down below in the description. If you own or are paying off a home that you've had since before 2020, you'll have a decent amount of equity in your home, but what is equity and how can you use it to grow your wealth? Tune in to find out all about how you can use your equity to invest in property. Having great equity and not using it to invest is like having your bar fridge stacked to the gills, but never cracking a can. That was a Mortimer.
That was a Mortimer.
No,
Through
that
and
was a
through.
Mortimer.
Couldn't have put it any better either.
Now, I caught up with the great Morts today, had a very good chat. You know, his sister is singing the anthem before Origin on Wednesday night. So
Really?
that's a
Are you
great
serious?
omen for the state. I believe Mortimer isn't her last name anymore. She's happily married. But I think Mortimer Blood singing the anthem, I really like that.
wow.
My word, that is a talented family.
Yeah, they're good at what they do. They're very good at what they do. So I love that omen for
Yeah,
us on Wednesday
that's
night.
huge.
Now, if you are someone that has already signed up to Blue Wealth Property, or you haven't attended an event, or you've brought a property for Christ's sake, please go and check your emails. There will be something in there for you. So check your emails, type in Blue Wealth, go through any emails I've sent you of late, and please go and check there because there is something special in there for you guys. And the rest of you, hang on to your seat for next week because we have got an announcement. But if you have already subscribed to Blue Wealth and you've been to a webinar or anything like that, please check your emails, check your junk, check it all. With a fine, what do they say?
Comb?
Fine-tooth comb.
Yeah.
Look at you with all
comb.
the sayings,
What is a
mate.
fine-tooth comb? What else do you use a fine-tooth comb for?
Is a fine tooth comb like one? Is like like real thin one for hair?
Good one, Timmy.
Is
That
it like a Nits
exactly
Explorer
what it
kind of
is.
Is
situation?
it
Yeah.
actually?
That makes sense.
Let's
doesn't
put
it?
two and two together.
I think they're just you've
I'm guessing a tooth is like the stringy bit of it, whatever you call it. The brushy bit.
the brush bit, but a fine tooth comb, when you look at a comb, you know how they have different parts.
Yeah.
It's the finest part.
Yeah.
I know that was a revolutionary statement.
Very good.
But yeah, check it all. Check your junk.
Check your junk. Yeah. And have you got a fun fact about equity?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Hit me.
I haven't dropped it often in this show either, so just in case anyone's ever missed it.
No, give it a workout. Give it another whirl.
Yeah. 80% of people who currently own a home have enough equity in their property to invest in another property.
It shocks me more each time I hear it.
I know, same.
It just, thank Christ I'm sitting down for this show because there could have been a fatality by this point.
Good, isn't it?
It's very good, yeah. So go check out Blue Wealth Property, guys. Unlocking equity to invest in property. That's a webinar, so you can do it in your pajamas on the 8th of July. Maybe an hoodie for those that play in that field. 7 p.m. 8th of July. Now, the Beers and Breakevens group this week. Our top scorer was the Postal Pigeon. Shout out to you. 1,565. His overall rank goes to 3,000. Very good to see. Congratulations, Alex. Send an email, beersandbreakevens@gmail.com, and we will get you sorted. Remember, name, address, all that sort of stuff. Make sure it all is in there, please. And I just want to give a little shout out to one of my oldest and dearest mates, T-Stew, the great Tommy Stewart. Finished 8th overall this week, and I thought maybe he'll win beers. He only finished 3rd in beers, but a very good knock. A Tallis Duncan owner.
So close.
One of the great guys. You'd really get along with T-Stew.
Is he coming on? Is that one coming on Sunday or is that another?
No, different guy. But if you've got an extra pass, T-Stew might be interested.
If he wants to come.
Yeah. Reach out, T-Stew. He's a huge Roosters fan, big Chooks guy.
Lives in Sydney?
Sydney boy. Loves his racing, loves his cricket. You two would actually get along really
Why does he
well.
already not have a ticket?
Yeah, he's a good man. Reach out, T-Stew. I'll sort you out. Yeah, went kindy to year 12 with the great T-Stew.
Wow.
Went to our 15-year reunion the other day.
One of the oldest and dearest.
Tight.
Yeah.
Silent G, but tight. All right.
You went to your, what did you say?
My 15-year school reunion the other day.
Bloody hell. They rolled out the red carpet.
Mate, had to chuck on the RMs with the chinos, get down to QP1.
Yeah,
Death Valley, as we call
Did you wear
it.
your new shoes to it? That you tell us about?
Now, I've got
You wore the RMs, you said.
I wore my RMs down there to fit in with the rest of the crowd. That
Yeah.
I felt
Remember, he's from the eastern suburbs.
yeah. Well, my school's very eastern suburbs.
Was everyone just trying to get a bit of airtime with the Roo and
No,
get photos?
no, mate.
Who, actually, I do have a question. Who would be the most famous person from your grade? Like, is there anyone?
Massimo.
Oh, was he at the Massimo Luongo?
Luongo, hey?
Was he there?
No, Mass wasn't there. We got a few from our Massimo, Jed Holloway played for the Wallabies. When I say a few, it's probably those two. Doing great
Massimo,
things.
he's a big deal.
He's a huge
That's
deal.
decent.
Yeah,
That's-
he goes good, Massimo.
Did you
Good guy.
run into any ex-Flames?
No, all
He
boys
went
school.
to an all-boys
okay.
school.
So yes.
Run into any ex-Flames?
So yeah, about
How many
three.
ex-Flames you run into? But yeah, a few there that play SuperCoach, listen to Beers and Breakevens. So yeah. I don't know what I was going to ask you. I've kind of lost my...
That's right.
Oh, my new shoes don't fit me.
What?
Yeah. I wore them on the weekend. My feet really hurt. I got blisters.
Too small.
Too small. Yeah. You know what they say?
Yeah, I know what they say.
You know what they
You're not
say.
very good at buying shoes online,
Yeah,
is what they
that's
say.
exactly what they say. Yeah, I'll be taking that up with that very popular international shoe brand during the week. Be prepared for my email. Timmy's stat deep
dive.
Okay, Cannabis lost a
I just
tooth
hit
doing
my
that.
face on the mic. That hurt.
Yeah, we're not lying. It's a
Oh.
tooth.
I went in real strong on that one.
Yeah, heaps strong. Okay, Timothy, we're going to start with Wham Bam Ezra Mam. Talk to me.
Very popular this week.
Is he?
537k, break even of 47, season average of 72 points. Humming along nicely. Roo, if you take out his 128 points against the Dragons, he's averaging just 58.25. Not bad, to be fair. But he's had a lot of attacking stats. So since he's returned from suspension, 3 tries and 7 tries in 5 games. I've got a stat for you, though. Better than all of that. That 128 points was his first ever SuperCoach ton.
Yeah, he's not usually a good SuperCoach scorer. He has to do a lot to score SuperCoach points. But, mate, at the moment, he is doing a lot.
I went through it and, look, I was writing my article today and perhaps I missed something, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. First ever ton.
Yeah, he's always a guy on draft day. He gets overdrafted because of his name, and every time I'm like, nah, shit, pick up. He's sat on our waiver wire for heaps long this year, but yeah, he's doing good things at the moment, Ezra, man.
Could you...
No.
No, me either.
Doesn't feel...
Tons of attack. I said, take out the ton. I know you're nitpicking, getting the stats you want, but take out the ton, which I said, first ever. He's averaging 58 with a heap of attack. He's just never been relevant. Not saying he can't. He's playing as good as he's ever looked for what it's worth.
Yes.
But I just...
But I think when you look into the context of that as well, like he scored 70 on the weekend, yeah? Very good knock. 48 in creative stats.
Yeah.
That's a lot. He scored a try 3 weeks ago and scored 41.
Yeah.
It's just not there for me. To be fair, the base actually looks better than I thought it would, all things considered. But, I just don't want to rely that heavily on guys scoring tries.
And you're also relying on the Broncos finishing very well. And the draw's pretty good, to be fair.
Yep.
But I also have no faith in the Broncos.
Yep, I've got no faith whatsoever. I think that the floor of that could fall through at any given moment. Ruben Garrick, the 15th peak. Talk to me.
Yeah, so obviously the big one last week, Tommy Turbo shifting to centre, and we were getting all excited about Garrick on the right wing outside Turbo, and just went, he'll average bloody 100 even if Manly hit a wall.
Yep.
Saab came in for Talia last week, so Garrick went to the left wing. As soon as this happened, I took the VC off Ruben Garrick.
I saw that.
Yes. You just don't want the left winger at Manly. Now, look, I still like Rubes on the wing, but more than the wing, you want the right edge.
Yeah.
So the numbers around... So Garrick... So he scored 93 last week, scored a try, that's all good and well. Manly score 31% of their tries on the left edge, 53% on the right edge. And, considering as well, that's for the season. You imagine how many Manly have scored on the left edge when Turbo's been fullback and sweeping and doing all that. You now put Tommy Turbo at right centre, they're just going to get more ball. So, look, it's no dramas with Garrick. I just find him... I will struggle to VC him again this season on the left wing.
Yeah, I think it'll depend on the matchup. I also think... when you take Ola Kawatu out of that right edge, it does look a little bit different, but you still have got Ches and Turbo, the main guys there. With the right matchup, I could still VC him, obviously with the goal kicking as well, but it's much more appealing on the right, for sure. Yeah.
If he was on the right, I'd probably VC him another freaking 5 times this season, but on the left, I'm like, it'll have to be a very good one.
Yeah, very fair. Harry Grant, interesting one, a guy I'm got my eyes on over the next few weeks. Talk to me.
So do I. But it's not quite happening for him this season. So numbers thus far. He's averaging 59 points in 76 minutes per game. It's his lowest average since he became a starter. He hasn't averaged 70 since he became a starter in 2020. So...
Hasn't averaged below 70?
No, hasn't averaged below 70 since he became a starter in 2020. He's got 3 try assists and 4 try assists in 9 games this year. So, not heaps, but not bad. I just sit there and go, his base has dropped in the last 2 seasons as well. He has a base of 37 this year. It was 42 last year and 45 the year prior. So, down quite a bit, and the minutes are still the same. So, as I said, I have so much faith in Harry Grant and the Storm on the run home that I think I still want to invest him in as a number at hooker, but... he's not going great. The Storm play very laterally. They like to use the ball. Is this impacting him? Is he running less? Is there an injury concern there? The numbers aren't great.
Yeah, they're not great at all, especially when you have a look at his minutes throughout this season. I mean, he's only really had 1 game of reduced minutes, which means his average minutes is... Last 4 seasons, he's averaged exactly 76 minutes in all of them, same as this year. Big drop-off, more than 10 points. 12 points dropped from average last year.
I was all in on Grant for the run home, and I'm still keen on him, but Connor Watson's very much in on that conversation now for me. I'm going to have a look at him over in coming weeks, but yeah.
I'm leaning towards Connor Watson as it stands. I think that once the Roosters are full strength and Sam Walker's back and whatnot, I think Sandon Smith will play minutes at 9, which is good for Connor Watson.
Like we were just
I went
talking
to
about.
say Cody Walker 3 times then. CW just got mixed up twice. I think Connor Watson will move to 13 during the game. I think I'd rather him play 13 the entire game. I'd love to see Benaya really step up at hooker to maybe force a change there and just let Connor Watson play 13. I'd love to see that.
I made a good point. We're Riley Smith owners. They've obviously just signed Talon De Silva. He's suspended again next week, I think. So sitting there with Sammy Walker coming back, with Sandon to go to the bench, literally just flagged this, but maybe if you're going against the Harry Grant play, you get Connor Watson, just keep Sandon as your backup. And if anything happens to Connor, Sandon becomes a Big him in at 9.
Well, I think that's going to be my play. I obviously don't have Sandon Smith. I've got Tom Starling. I think I'm just going to straight move Riley Smith to Connor Watson and just have depth at hooker there. Run with that for the rest of the season. But yeah, I think it'll be a big conversation when Harry Grant or Connor Watson very soon. The Wars, unfortunately, Lukey Metcalf injured this week. His season is over, so devastating there for Luke Metcalf. He'll be back bigger and better as he has been in the past, though. The question becomes who steps up into that role. I think there are 2 options to choose from here, Tamare Martin or Tanner Boyd. I believe it'll be Tanner Boyd, but we'll see what the Wars do. What do you have on them?
Have a listen to these numbers. So, I knew the Warriors were killing it in Cup. 15 wins, 1 loss. Unreal numbers. Halves there, Tanner Boyd, Tamari Martin. So, the numbers of Tanner Boyd. He has 16 try assists and 1 line assist in 13 games. Good numbers. I don't know, whatever. Get a load of Tamari Martin's numbers. Do you know them?
No.
Tamari's played 6 games in Cup this season. He has 15 try assists, 9 line break assists, and 4 tries.
That's wild.
So if you had the try assists and tries, that's 19 in 6 games. He's getting over 3 tries/try assists per game. They are unbelievable numbers.
Pretty damn impressive. Question.
Nathan.
With him injured now, I would imagine if Tanner Boyd comes in, he will be the first choice goal kicker. I think he's a better goal kicker than Metcalf anyway.
Yeah.
Do you think that'll play a role in maybe for the halfback jersey? I think the obvious choice is Tanner Boyd personally. What do you think they'll do?
I think Tanner was not that it means everything, but Tanner was the 18th man last week.
Correct.
Again, I've been watching the Warriors Cup side, but Tamari's stats are unbelievable at 5'8". What I will say is that Luke Metcalf is also a 5'8" and a ball running 5'8", and they've moved him to 7. Tamari Martin, we spoke a lot about it on Bloke in a Bar last year. In his games at halfback last year when SJ was out, he killed it and they were winning games of footy. So I don't think it's that cut and dry.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Tanner Boyd, but look, and obviously he was 18th man last week, but Tamare Martin was on the bench, obviously. So yeah, I'm leaning towards Tanner Boyd. Let's say Tanner Boyd gets the nod, hypothetically, he will goal kick for the side as well. He's at 329k dual position, very appealing all of a sudden. I never thought I'd say goodbye to King Tongia, but maybe I will.
329 goal kicking. With a very soft run home.
Yep.
Tamari'd be cheap as shit as well, though, wouldn't he? I mean,
shit known to be cheap, and it's at 244k. So, yeah, I think Jewel as well.
I'll do the numbers on him for next week's Stat Deep Dive when the Warriors are playing, but he went really well at halfback last year, Supercoach-wise.
Yes. He had some very big games, yep.
Some flow-on effects. If Tamari gets picked, Harris Tavita probably goal kicks too.
Jesus.
Bit going on.
No, it'd be
Pompey.
Pompey, I'd say. Well, if he's in the I assume he'll be in the side.
Yeah, maybe Pompey. Anyway.
Pompey goal kicked on the weekend anyway. When what's his name went off.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, I think whoever does step up at halfback for the Wars, we're gonna have a serious conversation about probably next week. And hopefully King Tongia can get me one more big score, get him up to 400k and doors over there, my friend.
Yeah.
All right. No. Jesus. Connor Tracy, talk to me.
Connor Tracy.
He updated on the weekend by about 30 Supercoach points, by the way.
Fresh my mind, Connor Tracy. Who's he play for?
Fuck you. I think he finished on 66 and he updated to 91.
So Connor Tracy, 3-round average, huge. 78 points. That's the stat. Just wanted to flag it.
Yeah, he's doing good things.
For you two, pardon the pun, dogs who got rid of him and had no faith.
Yeah. That's very fair. He's doing good things. Jeez, I was obviously on the live stream the other night, so I wasn't. But, mate, every time I looked up, he made a try-saving tackle.
Yeah.
It was he had a cracker game the other night. Connor Tracy.
If Supercoach had more points for effort areas, he'd average about 200.
Yeah, when he finished the game on 60, I was like, that's probably the best 60-point performance I've seen.
Yeah,
from
he played
a Supercoach
so well.
point of view. Yeah, so it was good to see him go up.
So good of a 60, it was actually a 90.
It was actually a 90. Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, I think he was like the 11th most traded in this week. Yeah.
got a bit
Well,
of
I've had
PTSD.
went through a lot of pain for 2 weeks with Connor Tracy, so I just need to have a moment next year too for destroying the integrity of the podcast and dropping him.
Oh,
I will
you're
say
dropping
this.
some bombs there, Timmy.
You were the one that originally wanted to trade him in. We kind of jumped on the bandwagon a little bit.
A little bit.
So I do think it is fair that you get to enjoy the spoils of long-term patience with
Do you know
Connor
what
Tracy.
trades feel like for me right now? It's like for Christmas you got given all of these vouchers and then you forget about them and you get to the expiry date and you're
That's
like,
good.
I'm just buying things for the sake of
Yeah,
buying
that's
them.
illegal now. Have
Giving
expiry dates on them.
No, I've got one, but it's like 5 years away. I think the expiry dates are longer now.
Oh, they've extended them, have they?
But the way I feel about trades right now is kind
Yeah,
of like,
they're-
I've got all of these things that, like
Yeah.
all of these vouchers that are expiring. I just got to buy stuff for the sake of it.
Question for both of you. Where do you keep your vouchers in your house? Oh, we keep them in the top drawer in the kitchen.
Yeah, look, I'm probably one of the people who like force the law change because vouchers, they just freaking end up all over the shop. I forget about them. They don't get spent. Yeah.
I keep mine in my handbag, actually.
All of them?
I don't have that many.
You'd have enough of them.
No, I really don't.
How many vouchers you getting, Roo?
I
Not
get
really
vouchers all the
something
fucking
people
time.
get me. Like I've got one voucher that I need to spend at the moment. That's it.
Yeah, I've got one
Mate,
as well.
I reckon I got a fucking tattoo on my forehead saying, give me vouchers. I got heaps of them.
Bit of a lazy gift.
How do you?
It is
More-
a lazy
says
gift,
more
I
about the
think.
people
No,
around
it's one.
you.
It's like, how do you buy a man a gift who already has everything because he's got all the money in the world?
I'll tell you what is the greatest sign that it's a lazy gift.
Mm.
I give them all the time.
Oh, true.
all the fucking time.
What's your favorite?
My dad
voucher
hasn't gone
to-
out for dinner in about 8 years. He's got about 6 years worth of dinners that he can use. He could survive off vouchers I've given him
It's
every year.
impressive.
Circling back, I don't think Connor Tracy is a buy.
I don't think he is either.
No.
Sure as fuck isn't for
He's
me.
not in a top 7, to be honest, starting CT dubs for the run home. He's reliable. He's done a great job outside of the 2 weeks that we all started off with him, but he just does the tough stuff. And he's not a high, like, he doesn't create a lot of attacking opportunities. He has had about one the last 3 weeks where he's had a couple of try assists and a try, but there's better in the position.
Yeah.
If I could,
That was close there. I thought you were going to
that
go
was
on
so
us
close.
if I could get you a voucher for
No,
For any
Timmy's
player,
moved away from the voucher chat.
it's a Connor Tracy
I think he
voucher.
drew a line in the sand there,
He
and
did,
I felt
actually.
it. I felt
Yeah.
it. I think it's a late show conversation, which we'll circle
Okay,
back to.
done.
Okay, know that. Now, trades and captains. I'm going to put forward my situation to you, both of you, and I'm keen to hear your thoughts. As far as a long-term investment, Vimalga was a stock that I brought in about 1973, and he's just come to the back end. He's at 438K, which has been nice to see. He's got a break-even of 42. He's on the buy this weekend. I don't have any other pressing spots in my team. I need to make a move immediately, so I am considering trading Vimalga to someone that plays this week and that I want long-term. 3 names popped up to me. I also can't trade into CTW because I'm dumb as shit and I've got Aiken and Lucas in my 2RF.
Has to be 2RF.
2RF or front row forward.
Okay.
One of the two. I had 3 names that came to mind. I had the 2 Canterbury Bulldogs back rowers that I like, Preston and Viliami Kicks. And then the other one I liked, who's just in a rich vein of form right now, is Tallis Duncan. I looked as a little pod play, but he's still got 2 buys to come this season. I think it's a bit of a punt. So I'm leaning towards the 2 Canterbury guys. Are there any front row forwards or anyone else that you would push my way, Himothy?
Well, I mean, I think we're all pretty similar. Like front row, I've got Terrell May, Clomatungi, Adam Fennell-Blake. Then I've got Tino down in the back row. You'd be similar enough.
Yep.
So I don't think front row is the position to attack. I've got to get Payne Haas back in post-origin too. So I don't think your front row is the answer. What?
No, I'm just thinking, do I maybe just hold him to move to Payne Haas in a week or two?
Yeah.
Could be a
Do
play.
you have a shit ton of money still in the bank?
You had much experience with $500,000 because
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, I've got the same amount. So
Bad.
I've got 786,000.
are you serious? God.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Wait, is that your money or your rank? oh yes. Oh, she's already dead. Leave her. Love it. Thanks for coming.
So much money.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
So, yeah, you could wait and go Haas. What,
Yeah.
You got 13 plays this week, right?
I got 13, yeah.
Pre-trades.
Yeah.
Is there any duds in it?
Not really. King Tongi is probably a bit of an odd day. Outside of that, I'm feeling okay about it. Everyone else? Yeah, no, everyone else is sweet. Just him. So, But a lot of people will have him, and he's been scoring okay, so I'm okay.
Yep.
Kickow, Preston.
I like
don't
Kickow
hate
and
the
I like
play.
Preston.
Yeah.
I really like the Kickow play. If you want to catch me, it's probably not the play.
Yeah.
Because the thing about Kickow is, well, we've spoken last week about base and power being up and all that good stuff and how good he's looking. He can have 40s and 50s in him.
Yeah.
So, like, there's an opportunity for you to go against him and hope that he does have a 3-round average of 45, 50 and I hold him for the run home and maybe you go Preston, who is averaging very well this season. But to the listeners, I like Kickow. I love everything I've seen from him. I had him last week in a low-scoring affair against Penrith. He got 66. He's had something like 17 offloads in his last 3 or 4 games, I think it is. He's busting tackles. The attack's centralised around him. Like, I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing with Kickow.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at Preston's stats. I mean, in his last 7 games, he's gone below 60 once. He's got a lot of tries in that. The only thing I don't love about Preston right now, mate, is that his ball player on that edge is changing mid-game, which I don't love. At least with Kickow, you know what that edge is going to look like every single week.
63 in base last week, Preston.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. If I go one of them, it'll be Jacob Preston. I'm just going to hope and believe in my theory of all time with Kickout that there are low scores and they can come in
And that's
bunches.
the thing where history suggests there will be.
Yeah.
But I don't think Kickout's ever looked this good.
Some pretty good matchups
And number 2, the big factor with kicks, and look, I haven't gone through and looked at his offloads from previous years, but watching him in recent weeks, last couple of months, he's looking to offload every time he goes into contact.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I'm excited to own him. And to see him do the 66 last week in that grind of a game, it's encouraging. 48 in base, 49 the week before.
Yeah. I will say this in Preston, on Preston, like he's a very good base setter anyway, but I think that's 63. Obviously that game was 6-4 or
Lot
whatever it was.
of ball in play.
A lot of ball in play. So
I think it was like 6 or 7 minutes more in play than a couple of the bludger games on the weekend.
yeah. So have that context when you're looking at him, please.
What's your gut tell you you'll do, mate?
My gut tells me I will either go Preston or I won't do anything.
You'll make a trade, and I'll tell you why, because you'll have a dud at some point on the weekend.
I'm not as much like you as far as I'm unlikely to make a trade during the weekend.
Yeah, okay.
If I'm going to make a trade, you'll know about it on Thursday or Friday, I reckon. But if I'm going to trade in Preston, you'll know a little bit early. For me, this week isn't about making a big gain. It's just about not shitting the bed.
Yep.
But I don't mind the idea of having Preston for the rest of the season. I've got to more so sit down and work out how I'm going to get to Haas if I make that move, because I think it's $200K that I'm going to spend on Preston that I'm going to have to make sure I've got enough to get Haas, Cleary, these guys back. I will say the one thing that could impact my trade, does King Tongia play before him?
Game 2.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, no. So I was going to say, if King Tongia goes huge and I know I'm going to get good money from him, maybe I could look at it, but Bulldogs is first game. Oh, yeah, so it's the first game. I'm going to have to make that call upright anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you thinking of this week?
I'm making a move, I think, that's going to make you poo yourself a little.
Good. Lucky we're live on camera.
Charlie Geimer to Mark Nwanganita-Waze.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I know you don't. Like, it's written in the stars, right? You've wanted him all season, haven't done it, and he comes out and explodes against the Tigers.
Yeah, rugby league poo. He's arrived.
Yeah, so, like, my CT dubs... you can't up there, Kat.
That's so funny.
My CT dubs, fine, but it's nowhere near as strong as other people's, yourself included. So this week I can move Lucas up, get rid of dead weight in Geimer. You know how I play. I play for depth long term.
Yeah.
So I can get him in, and they've got some tough games on the run home, the Roosters, but I just see him as a really good 5th, 6th CT dub to play on matchup, high upside, has been named at centre this week. I much prefer him on the wing. He's averaging 87 on the wing this year. What I do
What's he
like-
averaging at centre?
I haven't actually.
Mate,
I didn't expect him. When I did my stats pre-show today and pre-playbook and team list, I didn't think he was going to get named at centre, so I didn't do it.
Look, I've obviously had him in draft all year. I've watched him very closely. Mate, I kind of prefer him at centre. I know that goes against everything we know in SuperCoach, but when he's at centre, mate, he offloads at will and they can't control him, and it creates a lot of opportunities off him. He gets a lot of line break assists and try assists off that. So I'm not saying he's better at centre than he is at wing SuperCoach-wise, but I'll tell you what, there is not much difference.
It's not a major concern.
It's not a major concern,
especially
no.
when you're playing the Tigers who have that many personnel changes for sure.
Because, mate, when he's playing wing, like his base stats are good, but they're not crazy. Like they're not insanely different to when he's playing centre. And I think that when he gets that arm free, he can just cause chaos.
So I think that's the play I'm going to make. Lucas up to 2RF and Marky Mark comes in, and then post Origin I'll look to make plays around definitely Zach Lomax. Zach Lomax will probably come in for me post like next week. And
I hate that.
I know you do.
Fucking hate that. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
If you don't mind me asking you a question, of course. If Val Holmes was playing this weekend, would you go Mark or Val?
Val.
Val?
Yeah, I just love Val.
Yeah.
Very good goal kicking centre, great work rate. Dragons run home's way harder. Dragons, more cold than hot. Probably on a down. I know they won last week, but probably more on a down. The Roosters on the up, but Val's just so proven. He's so elite. I'd probably go Val.
Val in the last 11 games has gone below 60 once, and that was a 58.
He's unreal.
Yep,
Yeah.
he's
So
flying.
he's one of my targets for post Origin.
Yeah, I think I don't know how I'm going to get Val, but I'll be keeping a little eye on him. And their buys are done as well, the Dragons.
I'll probably go Tracy down to Val and bank a couple $100K.
Tracy down to Val. Breaks my fucking heart, Cat. Breaks my fucking heart. Any other trades you're making?
I think just the one, mate. That'll give me 15 plays for the week. All good. My worst will be Billy Smith. So feeling
like
good.
that. Yeah, you look like you. So sorry, how many players you got?
15.
Ugh,
Yeah.
fuck.
It shapes as a good week, but as we know, it doesn't always pan out that way.
As far as my CTWs go, I've got Garrick, Kiraz, Lomax, Karapani, Farmworth, Osako, and Lawson. Like, obviously, I'd love to move Lawson to a gun, but I don't think that's going to happen. He's probably going to be enough for me. I don't think I can trade any of those dudes yet. I think they're all keepers towards the back end. Do you agree?
Say it again.
Garrick, Kiraz, Lomax, Farnworth. Isako's maybe the one I could move on if I wanted to. But I don't mind having Isako.
Yeah. The only one you could do is Osako.
Yeah, I'm feeling okay about Osako at the moment. Scoring a lot of points in goal kicking, but the Dolphins are scoring a lot of tries, so we're okay. Captaincy this weekend. Do you know what you're doing for trades yet? Glad I asked. Captaincies.
I hope you have you realized that I also watch this show for inspiration on what I don't come here knowing what I'm going to do. I make decisions after.
Very fair.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Timmy?
I'm not overthinking it this week, mate. Perhaps VC Teddy C. I just think they're the standouts. Like Storm are red hot favourites. There's less attacking threats in like no Munster, no Grant. I think that just means better for Hughes and Paps. You could easily put a VC on Jerome Hughes, but yeah, I like Paps. And then I think if you own Teddy, which nearly everyone does, against the Tigers, Sunday Arvo, I think you have to.
Yeah, hard to go past Teddy there. Yeah, I think I'll probably just do the same. I think it'll be a very cookie cutter little weekend.
I don't think it's a week to get cute. Like the only ones, if you said you could go Hughes, and then the only other option, and Spy brought this up on Playbook, if you were to dodge, say, Pappy or Hughes and go VC on Teddy, and something were to happen, whether there's injury or he scores low, whatever, and then you could have basically a free crack at someone like Keon to yourself. I'm not willing to do that because I think the Storm matchup's too good with Pappy and Hughes, but that's the only alternative.
Just you'd be ballsy to go Keon after last week.
Yeah, minutes dropped. Because they were getting smoked,
Yep.
he played 60 minutes, which was his lowest all season by a mile. So that's the only thing. But, I mean, could argue it could happen again. So,
Yeah, I think Teddy's going to be very hard to go past this week. It'd be interesting if Terrell May wasn't in the same game as Teddy. Be an interesting conversation if he was a little bit earlier.
Especially up against a, second string Roosters pack, really.
Yeah.
So-
I'll be out there at the SC Playbook event, and if my draft weekend's going well, I'll be a Terrell May guy. If it's going poorly, I'll be a Nawanga Nitawase guy chasing big. So stay tuned for that, and then into a Tallis Duncan at Cats game. Is that us?
Just done, mate, I reckon.
Crack a week, unreal. Thank you for joining us once again, guys. Blue Wealth Property, obviously we've got the event coming up very soon. That one is on the 8th of July, the Tuesday night, 7 p.m, via webinar, Unlocking Equity to Invest in Property. Links in the description. You want to have a look there. And make sure, guys, if you are already a Blue Wealth Property subscriber, make sure you check your emails, check your junk, check all that good stuff. Type in Blue Wealth. We've got something special for you guys. Little video from me and Timothy and something special there. The rest of you, stay tuned next week. Lontel, major sponsors for season 2025, doing great things. Internet that is lightning quick will change your life. You can sign up for a week, see how you go, and then make a decision on that. Link is down below in the description there as well. And the 30th of July. It's a Wednesday night. Want to let you know the exact time, but the jersey drop, the Stallions and the Grizzlies jersey, there'll only be 30 of each. You know the spiel. You were here at the start. You know it.
If you've got Bickies, lock them away.
Yeah, if you got Bickies, keep them in the jar.
Yeah.
No little... Hey, Dad?
What are you talking about? I'm clearly good at saving.
You are good at saving, to be fair. Trades. All right. We done?
Yeah.
Pleasure as always. Goodbye.